Hey there. As I'm working on this talk about bringing rhythm to your life to have more energy, get away from that adrenal fatigue that plagues so many people, the overwhelm, the anxiety, I wanted to share an interesting thing that I've been hearing about and reading about a lot lately. May or may not show up in the actual talk, but has to do with inflammation. So many of the things that we all struggle with are rooted in inflammation. Zach Bush, that's where the B came from, has done a lot of talking about this. If you check him out a little bit, a lot of our issues, be it arthritis, heart issues, attention problems, anxiety and depression, they're rooted in inflammation that's going on in our system. Interestingly enough, having inflammation in your system makes you more susceptible to COVID, to having a worse time with it, potentially deadly time with it. The people that die tend to have a lot of comorbidities, which indicate a lot of inflammation. Their system is already on pins and needles, and that's just like the flick that sends them over the edge. Interestingly enough, this vaccine is another thing that creates a great deal of inflammation in your body and disarms the components in your body that would normally take away the inflammation caused by an attack from a virus or a germ or a bacteria, so that the cleanup crew's gone or rendered ineffective. I had read about increased inflammation following the vaccine. Don't go and get a mammogram because you're very likely to show inflamed lymph nodes following that. They've never given this warning with anything before. Inflammation is a huge problem. Your system gets inflamed. And think of inflammation as like a fire that's burning in your system. Or a pebble in your shoe even. It creates a hot spot on your foot, a hot spot in your body, an inflamed mood. There's a lot of things. Our culture is inflamed, quite honestly. There's a lot of inflammation in our culture. It's from being out of rhythm, from not living in accord or in an alignment with how the world is made to work. So we're going to talk on Tuesday night about how to bring yourself back into rhythm, back into alignment with the way that nature was made to work, the way that you were made to work in nature. We were given extreme ownership, responsibility for nature as humans, but we're still part of it. It doesn't mean that we live apart from everything. It just means that we have an extreme amount of responsibility because we are leaders in it. And right now, our human leadership is extremely out of sync with what we're supposed to be leading. And therefore, we're having a lot of conflict. To put it in other terms about what you're seeing in your own body and in your own life. That's the essence of inflammation, is its conflict. And the more we try and lead from a point of dictatorship in our life and with our body, the more you're going to see this inflammation. The more you come into alignment and into rhythm with how things were made to work, the more you're going to see all of that go down. And you're going to have greater health and vitality in your body. So, I'm going to talk about this in a lot more detail, and we're going to do things to help you figure out how to make this happen in your life. Because if you can't do it, it's of no use to you whatsoever. And my goal is to have people be able to see the results that they want. If what you want is less inflammation, more energy, more vitality, feeling in greater power and control in your life, then that's what we're going to do. So I hope to see you next Tuesday. Remember that you need to reserve your spot. So hit that link to reserve your spot and get the link into the Zoom meeting. Otherwise, you're not going to make it because it's on Zoom, so we can interact and talk and have it be a very dynamic, useful kind of conversation. So I hope to see you next Tuesday. Have a great and abundant day.